Stephen McBee Sr. is sharing a look at his life in the days following his 2-year prison sentence and $4 million plus order of restitution. Leaning on his faith, the patriarch from the McBee dynasty, Real American Cowboys, shared an Instagram story with one of his several pugs in his truck with a leather-encased Bible nearby, as part of what Stephen Sr. called a beautiful fall Sunday. He wished the same for his followers, adding, "Gunnar loved the chill in the air this morning, doing his zoomies in the yard." Over the post, the grandfather of two added scripture from Romans 8:28. "And we know that for those who love God, all things work together for good, for those who are called according to his purpose." In a separate Sunday Instagram post, Stephen and his pugs, Gunnar and Conan, enjoyed a golden hour sunset over the bean fields as the deer grazed away. The dad was in good spirits as he explained that despite seeing a few decent bucks yonder, the dogs snorting and barking scared the prey away. Earlier over the weekend, Stephen Sr. and one of the pups took to the pastures, feeding a handful of fresh green grass to one of their horses, Rip. "Rip needs to be ridden," he captioned the Instagram video, adding that he would grab old Jake for a ride, presumably a reference to the family's beloved farmhand. How did Stephen McBee Sr. respond to his federal prison sentence? One day after a judge sentenced Stephen Sr. for his crop insurance fraud conviction, Stephen Sr. said he was touched beyond measure by the outpouring of love and support, according to an Instagram post cited by B&B. "But the truth of the matter is, I'm the one who's lucky to have been able to spend time with so many high-character young people. And they were the ones that made me a better human, not the other way around," he continued. "I count my blessings every day for my family and the support they give me, and for my extended family that continues to grow each and every day. This too shall pass." Why is Stephen McBee Jr. going to federal prison? Stephen Sr. was sentenced to serve 24 months and pay $4,022,124 in restitution after pleading guilty in November to crop insurance fraud. On top of that, he will also be subject to 2 years of supervised release. His plea with federal prosecutors, per the U.S. Attorney's Office in the Western District of Missouri, required the defendant to admit he engaged in fraudulent activity from 2018 to 2020 that caused an economic loss to the U.S. Department of Agriculture. He was charged with illegally obtaining more than $3 million from insurance monies by underreporting corn and soybean crop yields, a crime that had him facing 30 years of incarceration. He now has until December 1 to turn himself over to the federal prison camp in Yankton, South Dakota, according to Fox News. How the McBee family responded to Stephen McBee Sr.'s sentencing. The outcome of Stephen Sr.'s legal woes weighed heavily over the farm and the family legacy to be taken on by his 4 adult sons, as seen on the entire Season 2 of the Bravo series. Through it all, those stepping up to the plate, including Stephen McBee Jr., Jesse McBee, Cole McBee, and Braden McBee, continue to have their dad's back. Stephen Sr.'s ex-girlfriend and the company's CFO, Galina Solkowska, was no exception. The eldest son summed up their support when he shared a photo of himself and his father riding horseback, as seen in his previous Father's Day Instagram post, stating, "Love ya, Dad. Whole family is here for you." The sun was just starting to peek through the thin morning mist that rolled across the McBee family farm, casting a soft golden light over the soybeans. Stephen McBee Sr. sat quietly in his truck, one of his pugs snoring gently beside him, as a leather-bound Bible rested on the dashboard. For a man once known for his commanding presence on the McBee dynasty, Real American Cowboys, the silence was almost foreign, but also strangely peaceful. It had been just days since his federal sentencing, 2 years in prison, over $4 million in restitution. The numbers were staggering, but in this moment, Stephen wasn't thinking about figures or fines. He was thinking about faith, family, and forgiveness, the 3 things he still had left. Gunnar loved the chill in the air this morning, Steven said softly in a voice memo he later posted to Instagram. The video showed Gunnar running through the dew-covered yard, darting and spinning in little bursts of joy. Doing his zoomies, he added with a chuckle, his tone light despite the heavy clouds hanging over his future. He captioned it with a verse from Romans 8:28. And we know that for those who love God, all things work together for good, for those who are called according to his purpose. To his followers, it was a simple Sunday reflection, but to those who knew him, the real man behind the cowboy hat, it was something more. A message of resilience, a promise to himself that his story wasn't over yet. Later that same evening, Steven shared another clip. A golden hour sunset washing over the bean fields, deer grazing in the distance, and his two pugs snorting happily as they ran toward the horizon. Saw a few decent bucks out there, he narrated, but these two knuckleheads scared them off. He laughed, and for a moment, the sound was the same familiar one fans of the McBee dynasty had come to love, genuine, warm, and just a little bit mischievous. There was comfort in routine, feeding the horses, checking the fences, watching the seasons change. It was the rhythm of farm life, something no court ruling could ever take away. Earlier that weekend, he had posted a short video of himself hand-feeding Rip, one of the farm's oldest horses. Rip needs to be ridden, he captioned, before teasing, might grab old Jake for a ride. Fans quickly recognized Jake as the family's longtime farmhand, a beloved fixture in the McBee story. The comments under the post were filled with support. Keep your chin up, cowboy. We all fall, but it's how we rise that matters. You're teaching us what grace looks like. A day after his sentencing, Steven wrote something more personal. I've been touched beyond measure by the love and support, he began. But the truth is, I'm the lucky one. Lucky to have spent time with so many high-character young people. They made me a better human, not the other way around. It was classic Steven, humble, reflective, and deeply aware of the power of community. He went on to say, I count my blessings every day for my family and the support they give me. This too shall pass. Those 6 words, this too shall pass, seemed to echo through every corner of the McBee farm. His sons, who had grown up watching their father build a business from the dirt beneath their boots, were now stepping into roles far greater than they'd ever imagined. Steven Jr., the eldest, took to Instagram to post a picture of him and his father on horseback. The caption was simple but powerful, "Love ya, Dad. Whole family is here for you." The post was met with thousands of likes and hundreds of comments. Fans of the Bravo series had watched this family face droughts, debts, and now disgrace, but what they admired most was their unshakable loyalty. Jesse, Cole, and Braden followed suit, each sharing memories of working side by side with their father. To them, Steven Sr. wasn't just a man facing time. He was the reason they worked so hard, the reason the McBee name still meant something. Even Galina Solkowska, Steven's ex-girlfriend and the company's CFO, showed her support quietly. While she didn't post publicly, those close to the family said she had remained deeply involved in helping keep the business stable. To her, this was about more than headlines. It was about holding together the foundation they'd all helped build. The federal court's findings had been clear. Between 2018 and 2020, Steven Sr. had underreported crop yields, securing millions in fraudulent insurance payments. It was a serious offense, one that carried up to 30 years in prison. But the judge, acknowledging his cooperation and lack of prior criminal history, handed down a 2-year sentence and ordered over $4 million in restitution. He was given until December 1 to report to the federal prison camp in Yankton, South Dakota, a minimum security facility known for its work programs and emphasis on rehabilitation. For Steven, the countdown wasn't about fear. It was about preparation. I'll be honest, he told a close friend in a conversation later summarized by B&B News. This isn't how I pictured my 60s, but maybe this is God's way of slowing me down, of reminding me what matters most. In the weeks ahead, Stephen began organizing his affairs. His sons took over daily operations on the farm, while he started journaling again, something he hadn't done in decades. Each page told a story, the lessons he'd learned, the mistakes he owned, and the gratitude he felt for every sunrise he still got to see. His mornings were quieter now. No camera crews, no producers, no schedules, just coffee, country air, and the rustle of leaves. Some neighbors said they'd seen him reading scripture near the fence line, often with a pug curled up at his boots. "Funny how life humbles you," he wrote in one entry. "When I had everything, I thought I was untouchable. Now that I've lost almost everything, I've never felt closer to peace." When the news of his final self-surrender date broke, fans flooded his social media with love. Many shared their own stories of hardship and redemption, thanking him for being open about his journey. On the evening before his last Sunday at home, Stephen posted one final message. It was a photo of his farm under a blazing orange sunset.